Hello, this is Rachel with Short and Sweet Reviews, and we have finally come to the end of our little Chosen chats with season 2, and as of now, this is all the episodes of The Chosen that we have until the premiere of season 3, which is, if it's on schedule when this goes live, will be coming out this week, which is exciting. So we are going to be talking about season 2, episode 8. And let's get started. So to start off the episode with that, we have season I'm sorry. We have the introduction of Judas, and it's interesting to see how his character starts out, and it kind of makes sense because you don't generally go around hanging out with people for 3 years if they're just a mustache twirling villain the whole time. And so they have him starting off as kind of just like an overall good guy, but you also see sort of a little bit of foreshadowing of sort of his little bit of trigger points a little bit, and that could lead to his actions later. How he kind of turns a blind eye when the money is kind of brought up. Like, he's going on kind of this rant about how he's upset about what happened with the field deal, and then his boss kind of brings up that, oh, he's in advance, go take a week off. He's like, oh, really? And just kind of forgets the whole thing. And you also have his passion for God, in a sense, where he's like, oh, everyone is just like pretending to be king or have control and all that. And that can also play into his potential motives later, as far as, him getting tired of waiting maybe and just sort of wanting to push something to happen. So, on to another note about what happens is, I thought it was really great to show how, like, Jesus knew and cared about each of his disciples' needs, and he took the time to make sure that Matthew understood the sermon, and probably to a degree, like, felt needed to, because he probably knew that he wouldn't just fully get it or fully have it sink in the way if he just heard it with everyone else. So he took the time to have him step aside and sort of work through the sermon with him, which I thought was really nice and definitely a sweet moment. And with that, you have the Beatitudes that's brought up at that point, which is the only part of the Sermon on the Mount we get in this episode after all that build. And I thought, like, the montage was just great, and the cinematography in that scene just amazing. Just top marks for the cinematography on this show, and how it sort of works backwards of everything that happened in the season, and you sort of get like a picture of things that happened and sort of an insight into the different disciples' personalities a little bit, and also how Jesus views them and maybe was inspired by the people around them, which I feel like would make sense. And now backtracking a little bit, it almost seems like in a roundabout way Jesus planned for them to run into Judas, which I think is interesting. Having it be a very specific place that he wanted to do the sermon, and the chain of events that ended up leading to, and them running into Judas because of it. I thought that was pretty interesting this time around, watching it, kind of having that thought, and him almost choosing for Judas to become part of the group, or finding a way to get Judas to be part of the group. And with that, at the end, we are left with the cliffhanger. We don't get the full sermon. We only get the Beatitudes, as I said. And it ends with just him in front of the large crowd, and pretty much him right about to say the sermon. And I'm pretty sure that we'll get that in at least the first episode of season 3, which is coming soon. And I think they've said this, and knowing The Chosen, I don't think they would take like 20 minutes of an episode just to have people sitting and Jesus talking, flat out saying the Sermon on the Mount. So I imagine it would sort of be like kind of intertwined to a degree during the episode, or maybe even part or all the season. Who knows? I guess we will find out, but we do know that more of the sermon is to come, and we'll see how that all pans out in season 3. But for now, that's all the episodes. See you next time. Bye.